I have to admit that part of my joy this Christmas are the Twitter revelations from Elon Musk. Now, there's nothing new here. It just confirms what we have known for a long time, especially those of us who publish content. Twitter is made up of awful people. I don't know that anything illegal was done, but it's people who were happy to absolutely trample the Constitution, flush it down the toilet, especially the freedom of speech for little guys like me and the freedom of the press. Also, it's not just Twitter. If you don't know this, this is just the modus operandi of social media. As a publisher myself, I'm fully acquainted not just with Twitter, but especially YouTube, Google, and Facebook. They're all doing this. Okay, nothing really new here. And to me, YouTube is even the worst. Here I am, an absolute nobody. Okay, a couple of years ago, I quit doing my podcast because of YouTube. They wouldn't notify my subscribers of a new podcast. I had thousands of subscribers. They made it so you couldn't search for my podcast. I just gave up. So I built a website, uobilly.com. Go check it out. So whatever they do to me, I'll at least be able to keep speaking because I've got my own website. But the worst story still is the fact that Twitter, and this has been confirmed, was in collusion with the Democrat Party, a political party, talking about a joke of free elections. So they helped support the Democrat Party narrative. They helped get Democrat candidates elected. They would silence the conservative voice when need be. But if you want a definition of rigging an election, it's the Hunter Biden laptop story. I mean, the FBI had that for a year and never released it. But Twitter, once the New York Post released the story about that, they shut it down. And any opinion from the rest of us, they wouldn't let it appear on Twitter. Now, would the outcome of the election been changed? I don't know. Certainly, it would have affected some votes. No doubt about that. Again, illegal? Probably not. They're just awful Americans. Now, the worst of the worst, and my point is this. A part of this cabal was the federal government. Those bureaucrats and those agencies in Washington, D.C. were a part of this scheme and collusion and game. Now, this is a different story. Again, I don't know that it's illegal. I don't care. It's just tragic. Because let me tell you something. Where Twitter may have the right to shut down free speech, a federal government bureaucrat doesn't, because just like politicians and military folks, you take an oath when you're a public servant to protect and uphold the Constitution of the United States. They did not do this. And the answer to me is very simple. And by the way, on the other side of that, where they're supposed to be, protecting us, they're helping shut down the conservatives. I mean, think about that whole, again, the Hunter Biden thing, what the FBI did. And the FBI has just willingly used their authority to help Democrats win and to hurt, even go after, harass, convict conservatives of anything they can just to shut their free speech down. It's atrocious. Any name of a government bureaucrat within the whole Twitter, corporate stratosphere that was involved in this activity should be fired immediately, and they should lose their pension too, because no American should be on the hook of paying with their taxpayer dollars another cent to these people who have rejected the Constitution. Otherwise, have a Merry Christmas.